Hey, Vic. Will Glasgow and Barron practice later today?
Glasgow won't. Barron should, as Dotson should also.
Okay. And then will Judy, Marshall, and Reed still be limited?
Judy will be full. Reed will be full. And Marshall, yes, will be limited.
Okay, gotcha. Second thing for me, Joe Brady had a lot of success at LSU last year. Have you seen a lot of college-type concepts in that Panthers offense this year?
A little bit, but not more than you see from a lot of teams these days. You know, he had a background of coaching with the Saints too for a little bit, so you see some of that stuff in there. I think it's a combination.
Next one, Arnie.
Hey, Vic. Justin Simmons is getting you guys' Walter Payton nomination for the second year in a row. I'm wondering if you could tell me in your time here what Justin has meant to you, not just on the field, but obviously off the field and kind of as a complete NFL presence.
Well, obviously his play speaks for itself. You know, he's been a really good player here for us for 2 years now. I really believe he should make the Pro Bowl this year. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't. And obviously all the work he does out in the community, you know, is not only a large amount of it, but heartfelt and for good causes. And he seems to always have time for people and to help people. So, I mean, obviously it's an award very deserving, and hopefully he gets the national award, you know, the one out of the 32. But being nominated as our guy 2 years in a row, I think is a great honor for Justin.
And just one quick follow-up to that. It's been a tough year in a lot of ways for everybody with the COVID. But I imagine, especially with these guys and their charitable efforts, what does it say? I know you guys highlighted a few of them with your community awards today. What does it say that these guys are able to continue doing that kind of thing in these restrictive times?
Yeah, I mean, these guys have done upwards of 300 hours of community work virtually, you know, because you're limited in how much you can do in person. You got guys like Dalton and Bradley and AJ and Joe Jones, you know, Sosa and Tim Patrick all got awards here today. You know, and a lot of our guys on our team that didn't get awards do it. And our guys seem to have a good mindset for that. I think they do it because they want to do it. I don't think they do it because they feel they should. And to me, that's a big difference. And our guys have, you know, stepped up and done that to, you know, big degrees.
Next one, Troy.
Coach, Christian McCaffrey's been injured this year, so it's been a little different. But what challenges does he present? Does he remind you of a Marshall Faulk or anyone that you've coached against?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a little bit of Faulk-type abilities, and Kamara in New Orleans, you know, these are guys that are really good receivers coming out of the backfield. They can line up as receivers and run receiver routes, and not just do them, but do them well. And obviously, he's a really good running back when the ball's handed off to him. That's what he does best. So he's a very versatile player, has tremendous speed, quickness, and elusiveness. And he's definitely a guy that's, you know, one of the top runners in the league.
Next one, Jeff.
Vic, when you have a head coach and an offensive coordinator you're going to face who were in college football the year before, will you go back and look at any of that, or do you only look at sort of what they've done in the league so far? And to that end, did you take away anything you use in your schemes from your year at Stanford when you sort of looked at college football and said, okay, some of this that I want to do could transfer to what's happening now?
Not really, as it relates to the one season at Stanford, and that was 10 years ago, and the college game has changed a lot since then too. We looked at the LSU stuff in the off season, but now you got 12 games of a body work of in the NFL, and you know that trumps what he did do at LSU. But we did look at it to give us some background in the off season leading up to this game.
Next one, Nick Kosmider.
Yeah, Vic, I think you guys have only given up 1 sack in the last 3 games combined. One of the league's best rushing teams during that stretch, very few penalties. How much of that is attributed to growth you're seeing along the offensive line? And if so, what are you seeing that group is doing well over the last month or so?
Well, I just think they're getting better and better. It's a young group. We got a rookie center, second-year left guard. Garrett's still got a young career going. Lack of penalties is always good. That's something we, encourage and enforce and emphasize and are enthusiastic about from day one in training camp. And I believe we've been one of the lower penalized teams in the league. And those guys have done a good job. The bulk of our sacks that we've given up this year came in the 2-game stretch against Pittsburgh and Tampa, I believe. Our guys have done a good job. Drew does a good job of avoiding pressure sometimes, which helps. But overall, I think our line has slowly but surely been coming together and doing a much better job, both run and pass blocking.
Thanks.
Next one, Eric.
Yeah, Coach, what do you see from your offense in the red zone that suggests to you they can maybe build on the performance from this past weekend? And is some of that just having more reps and more time in the system?
It is that. Anytime you can get more reps and players work together, coaches and players work together, you should improve. And we have improved in that area. We started off the year poorly in that area. Then we had a stretch where we were pretty damn good down there. And then we had a lull a little bit and then a good night the other night. So hopefully we can find our footing down there and continue to score in the red zone. It's critical that when you're down there to get the 7 and not settle for 3.
Guys, time for a few more. Next one, Zach.
Hey, Coach, how's Ed Donatel doing? And do you expect him to travel to Carolina for the game? And if so, how much will that help you on the defensive side?
He's doing much better. He's been getting better and better every day since he came back last week. Right now, we are anticipating him probably going to the game. Obviously, it could change here in the next 48 hours. But and I think we'll have him in the box instead of on the field so he doesn't have to stand down there for over 3 hours. But, yeah, it's a tremendous help. Ed, he's got a veteran set of eyes. Got a veteran set of eyes with me, for 10 years. We can speak the same language real quick. We have a memory bank of things that built up over 10 years. So he's got an experienced eye of seeing things on the field. And he'll be a tremendous help if we can get him back.
Final one, Kyle.
Vic, where does Josie Jewell improve the most this year? And then critically, where does he need to improve maybe down these last 4 games?
I think Josie's had a good season for us. He's been solid all the way, both versus the run and pass. He's quarterbacks our defense when he's in there. We ask him to do a lot of things from an adjustment standpoint. He handles it very well. He helps other people with their assignments getting lined up. And I just think he's had a really, really good year. He's played even better than I thought he would, which is good. And I really like him and I really trust him as a player.